everyone, Miss McCann here. Hello woodpeckers, don't get to see you too often apart from my story of the day, but I'm going to be doing some computing lessons. And good afternoon class 4. So this is the start of our computing lessons, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to use a program called Scratch to essentially make your own games. And then you can make your own games, you can send them to us, we can share them with the other children, and you can all have some fun playing new things. So today's lesson is basically about giving you the basics of Scratch, creating a very simple game, and then next lesson we'll be moving on to creating maybe a maze game. We can look at maybe doing something like Flappy Bird or something like that. So we are using a program called Scratch, which is a web-based program. You do not need to download anything. The link is there for you, so you just need to click on that. You can create a profile and whatnot to be able to save it, but you don't need to. So you just need access to the internet basically, and you can get it up on any web browser. So I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can see what it would look like. So this will be what you should have when you click on the Scratch. If it comes to the web page, the original web page like this, just click on Create. And then they'll give you a mini tutorial, which you don't need. You can just cancel that. So it will say creating project, and then you can just close this because we don't need that on there. We're creating our own project. So I'm just going to show you the basics as I said today. So the first part is that this is called a sprite, or it's basically your character, okay, in your game. And so I'll be looking at creating a character first. Now, as I said in my instructions, what you can do, you can watch the video the whole way through and then tackle the challenges, which are numbered below in the timetable, or I will show you how to do something. You can then pause the video, have a go yourself, and then move through the video that way with me. Absolutely fine. Alternatively, if you're an absolute whiz at Scratch, you know how to do it all, complete the challenges and then have a go at the extension that I've put below, which is just something fun for you to do. So starting now, I'll just move this up so you can see really clearly what I need you to do. So this is our Scratch creation board, if you like. Now, this square here is where whatever program you're writing or creating, this is the part where it will actually happen. This box here is where you will write or create the script for whatever is happening here. So unless you put it in here about what you want to happen here, it will not happen. So I'll start off then. So this is the sprite. So your first challenge is to create your own sprite and decorate it. So here's the sprite. They already give you this one already. This is the one to start with, but you can change your own. So you just have to look in this section here. Okay. Now we can get rid of it straight away. Don't want that one. And you click this little button here, choose a sprite. Now there are hundreds of sprites to choose from. You can go all the way down. You can search in here if there's something specific you want. So maybe have a little think about what kind of game you want to create. We're just doing a simple moving and catching something game, essentially. So you might want to have a play now and then change it at the end, do it all again. It's up to you. I'm just going to choose a beetle. I'm going to have a beetle going along to catch its food. So I've got my beetle here. I've clicked it and it's come into my my board about what's going to happen. Now to change this, change something different about it, I've decided I don't actually want a purple beetle. I'm going to actually change that, I think, to maybe be a pink one. So I'm going to go up into costumes, and as I click it, I've got my beetle here. You can click on certain features that you would like to change, maybe the color or the size, or whatever you want to do. I'm going to change the back of the wings of my beetle so that they are pink. So I'm going to click on fill with the colors. I'm going to drag this along to pink, and I'm going to have it a slightly lighter shade. Okay, that's the shade I want. Click off of it, and now, as you can see, I now have a pink beetle. So what I'd like you to do now, you can pause the video if you want to. I'd like you to complete task 1. So create a sprite, and I want you to decorate it. So have a go. Choose whatever sprite you like, any colors. You can change, as I said, you can make it fatter, thinner, taller. You can do whatever you want with your sprite. So pause the video now and have a go at that. So you should have created your sprite by now, or you can just join the whole video, remember. So I've got my sprite and now I need to create a backdrop because at the moment I just have a beetle in nothing. So to go to the backdrop or the stage, if you like, for our sprite, I need to go on backdrops here. So I'm going to click on this and it's very similar to finding a sprite as before. You can choose whatever background you would like. So I'm just going to choose, let's have the desert. So I've got my desert here. Again, and just so you know, you can move your sprite. So if you just click on it, hold it down and drag it anywhere you want to. So I've decided I'm going to change mine slightly. So now I have my backdrop. I've chosen my, my desert. What I've decided, now not all of them, you can just click on them and it will be able to change whole chunks of that. It's because someone's created it. So I'll show you an example of that one. So I've got my cactus here and I want to give it spikes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, I've chosen this tool, which is a brush. There are other tools here, so you can have a play around with that if you want. And I have decided to create a more, some spikes on it. So I'm going to create a more, lighter color. You can choose the colors like we did before. And I'm just going to add some spikes, just a few, to make it seem a bit more authentic. You can do whatever you would like to change on your own, just give someone this one, on your own background. You don't have to do what I've done, you can do something different. So I would like you now to create a backdrop and I would like you to change it slightly, whichever way. It could be a different color, could be changing the size, could be doing a different background. Have a little play and so pause the video now and have a go at that for me, please. So you should have created your background now. And if you've created your background, we're going to go back onto our code. I can see, look, I've got my desert background. Now the idea is that I'm just clicking this and dragging this, by the way, I'm not doing anything else with it. The idea is that I'm going to get my beetle and it's going to walk along, it's going to get some food and then it's going to say, hey, I've got my food. So that is my game. And I'm going to be able to do that using my keyboard, my left and right keyboard keys. So I'm going to move it over because obviously there's no point having it here and it moving along. I'm going to move it all the way over here and I need to click on events. So events, this one's a really popular one that we might use, and when you click that, whatever you've told it to do will happen. But actually, because we're using keyboard keys today, we're going to use the when something key is pressed. And then I'm going to change it from space to, let's do the right arrow. So when I press the right arrow, I will need to make sure it's pointing in the right direction. So I'm going to click point in direction. Now, this is to do with the coordinates. My advice, rather than working out the coordinates, although I know many of you are very capable, double click on it, on the actual number part, and it will show you the coordinates here. And I would drag it so it is facing, it was already at 90. Yep, that's right. If I press the right arrow, I want my creature to go that way. Okay, and when I press my right arrow, it's going to point in that direction and I would like it to move 10 steps. Now, anything in these drop-down box or the white box here, you can change. So if I wanted to change this to 20 or 15 steps, I can. You can do it whatever you would like to. You could even do 1 step. It's up to you. Now, you can't see this, but I'm now going to tap my right key, my right arrow key on my keypad. It should, because this is what I've told it to do here, it should, my beetle, move to the right. Let's have a go. There it is. My beetle's moving. Excellent. So my beetle's moved across the screen. Now the problem is I want to get it back the other way. So we're going to do exactly the same, but do it the other way. Now, my advice now would be to pause the video and just make it so that your sprite is doing this. So when you want to do right arrow, key press, point in the direction of 90, which is to this way, double check it by clicking on it. You've got the compass the right way, that it's in the right direction, and then move however many steps you want it to. I would advise you do that now and pause the video, and then I'll show you how to go left. Okay. Right, okay, so now I'm going to show you how to go left. So we're using exactly the same controls as last time. We click on events, and when I press, but this time it's going to be the left arrow, I would like it to be pointing in the direction. Now, if I double click on it, if I'm pressing left, I don't want it to go that way, do I? I want it to go the opposite way. So I'm going to need to drag it round to -90, the direction I want it to go. Okay, and then I'm going to move it. And again, I can press 15 if I want to. Okay, so now you can't see my keyboard actually, but I will be pressing my left arrow, and we should see that the beetle turns the opposite way and walks back over. Let's see. Yes, perfect. And then if I want to press my right key, it goes back the opposite way. And then left, so you can go back and forward. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is I would like you to now create your sprite with the left arrow. So pause the video and have a go at that. Right, so I'm now at the point in my game where my sprite can move left and right, but I need to have it getting to something basically for it to be the end of the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in on my backdrop just something small for my creature to grab. So I'm going to create a little rectangle. I'm going to fill it so I can see it, and it's just going to be a little bit of food. Let's see what colour I could go for. Should I green? No, maybe I'll go like more of a orangey. Have more of a higher. Yeah, I'll go for like a little bit more yellowy, orangey, like mustard colour. Okay, and then I'm going to draw. So I've clicked on my rectangle, and I want my. I need to draw it on here, sorry. Remember, whatever you draw on here then pops up there. Can you see it? So now I've drawn it on here, it will pop up here. So I might make it slightly bigger. I might drag it down slightly. So it's really in front. Yep. And I'm going to make it slightly bigger for my beetle to grab. Okay. So that is what my beetle is working towards. So that's what I'd like you to do. Create something on your backdrop, sorry, that your sprite or creature is going to work towards, is going to move towards. Okay. So we go back to our code. We need to click on our sprite, just check that we've got that there. And as you can see, it's still moving. It's still got the same features. And what I basically want to do is, as soon as my creature hits the little bit of food, mustard brick that I've given him here, as soon as he hits that, he says, yay, I found my food. So that's the next part we're going to do. So you should be at the point now where your sprite can move left and right, and you have something for it to work towards. That could be a square, it could be anything you like. It really doesn't matter. We're just aiming towards something in general. So I'm going to get my beetle right at the beginning again. And what I want it to do is, as it's moving, as soon as it gets to this colour that I have here, it is going to say, yay, I found my food. Now to do that, I'm now going to click on my events. Now, whereas before we used this because it was when we were clicking on a key, something had to happen. We want it to be going throughout the entire time that this could potentially happen. Now, just to say that you don't have to put these in order. I could even put this one first. All the code that is here will happen when you press it, unless you tell it otherwise. So when this is clicked, when I first start my game, what I need to do, I want this to happen forever. So anytime that my beetle goes over here, let me just send it back. Anytime my beetle gets here, I'm going to say that. So I need to click on forever, which is on control. Okay, so you should see a forever button, which means this will keep happening as soon as it does that. Now, forever, it's going to happen that if something happens. So I need to click on control again. If, just use the first. See if. Here we go. If, and then I'm going to put something that's going to happen then. Now, we want it to be that it's a sensing thing. So when it touches this colour. Okay, so pop it in there. Let's just drag that over. So if it touches this colour. Now, I don't want it to be this colour. I want it to be this colour because otherwise it's not going to touch anything. So I click on it. Now, the best way to do this is to click this little, it's like almost a pipette. And if you click on it and put it anywhere on your screen, it will take that colour. So I'm going to click on that. Automatically, it's got that colour. It's found that colour and I can click off of it. So if I'm touching that colour, then, and remember, I want it to say something, yay, I found my food. I mean, yours can say anything you like, but that's just what I'm getting to mine today. And that's on the sound, what it's going to, sorry, not sound, looks. Here we go. It's going to say. So we put that in after. So once it touches that, then it's going to say, yay, I have found my food. And you can have that going for, you know, as long as you want, really. I might have mine for 5 seconds. Okay, so I can click off of that. So I can move back and forward, but it should be that as soon as my beetle touches this colour, it will then say, yay, I found my food. Reminder, it's only going to happen when I press this green flag. So I must press the green flag first, go. And then I can go back and forth, as you can see, still. And you can see, as I'm doing that, the script is lighting up. Okay, so I'm walking towards with my beetle. And as soon as I touch it, look, it says, yay, I found my food. So what I would like you to do now is create it. So use this part of this script here, that whatever you have given as your food, or, you know, whatever your game is going to, that as soon as it touches that colour, it will then say something, and you can do that for as many seconds as you want. Okay. Now, the only problem with this is that's the end. I've done it so it's the end of the game when it clicks on it. If I went back, I'd have to wait 5 seconds for it to stop saying it, and then I could start again. But we can change it, and I'll show you how to do this, where you can change these parts where it's only when it's touching it that it says that. I mean, maybe you guys could have an experiment with that. But that is basically the end of what I want you to do today. So today you have created a sprite and adapted it and changed it to what you want it to look like. You have created a backdrop and changed that as well. You have learnt how to program it, as in to move it, your beetle. And if you want, remember, not just a beetle, any sprite really, but if you want to, and you want to move it up and down, you can do that as well. Just change these things and make sure it's going in the right direction for you. And then you've got it to say something once it reaches a certain destination. So you've managed to achieve lots in that session. I hope you enjoy that. And then next session, we're going to work on a maze game, so getting around the maze. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoy.